The 2024 NBA MVP award was announced, and it is safe to say that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was robbed on national television of winning the MVP title. What up? It's Bryson Akins here with another Thunder Digest video for you guys today. Before we get into all this, though, I just want to take a moment to recognize 90% of you guys coming back and watching these videos are not subscribed to the channel. I'm just going to mention this. If you guys find yourself coming back and you enjoy this content, best way to support the channel and to stay up to date when a new video drops is to hit that subscribe button. But now we'll go ahead and get into it. And I'm sure you guys have already seen, I'm devastated by this. I am absolutely devastated. I am dumbfounded, especially from the discrepancy of the NBA voting for MVP this year. Because Jokic kind of blew everyone out of the water when you look at it. He had almost all of the first place votes. SGA only had 15. Luka only had 4. I thought it was a battle between Luka and Shai the entire time. I thought Jokic was kind of out of it and he was going to settle for third place. I thought it was going to come down to between Luka and Shai. But no, somehow Jokic comes out of nowhere and media personnel are already criticizing it and saying the NBA should investigate it, as the first person to kind of speak on this was Shaquille O'Neal. Shaq even said on national television on TNT that SGA should have won the MVP. He said that on national television while they had Jokic accepting his award on TNT. That was absurd. Shaq said that and then had to talk to him. That's how much he believes Shai should have won the MVP award. As you can see here, we're going to go chronologically order. I can't talk. That's how frustrated I am. I can't get words out from how frustrated I am about Shai not winning the MVP. But we'll go ahead and look at it. First thing he said. All right, Shaq says SGA deserved MVP over Nikola Jokic. I don't like to rain on people's parade, but I'm not happy with this one. You know what, Shaq? Neither am I. Neither am I. I'm mad. I'm angry. All right? To quote Stephen A. Smith, I am having a very bad day. This is horrible. Shai deserved the MVP, and that was the first thing Shaq had to say. I agree with Shaq. I would have been fine with Luka winning it over SGA. But it's the fact it was Jokic, who I thought he shouldn't have won in the first place. He shouldn't have. He didn't get better, all right? If anything, he may have digressed a little bit. He didn't get better. Luka got better. Shai got better. Their teams got better. That's simple. The Nuggets have been the same now for the past few years. They have been. And that's why I think Shai should have won it over Jokic, or even Luka should have won it over him. Those are the two players that should have won it. We'll go into what else he had to say. Here's the next thing he had to say. You know, this is what he said on national television. First thing he said, you know I love you. You're the best player in the league. I want to congratulate you, but I want you to hear it from me first. I thought that SGA should have been the MVP. That's no disrespect to you. I'm going to go and say the same thing. If Jokic somehow find this, if all the Denver Nuggets fans, if you guys get on my page and find this, no disrespect to Jokic, he's a great player. He's one of the best in the world. It's just this season, he wasn't the best. He wasn't, plain and simple. He was the third best in my opinion. And then it was a close race between Shai and Luka Doncic. That's what it came down to. But yet, no. He went ahead and got it because he has the media on his side with that. And then Shaq is the first to go ahead and say it to him. I don't agree with this. I don't agree with you winning the award. But I'm going to go and say it to your face because I'm a man and I respect you like that. And I respect Jokic too. He's a great basketball player, like I said. And he definitely had a great season, but not on the same level as Shai and Luka. Then finally, the last thing he had to say, I felt SGA deserved it. The fact that he has to start all over next year and try to win again. Hopefully he uses this to motivate him to win a championship. Shaq on Nikola Jokic winning MVP over Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And as you can see, social media, as you can see from all these posts, social media is also kind of agreeing here, backing up Shaq, saying that, yeah, SGA should have won it over Nikola Jokic. And so when you got social media and media personnel like that, Shaquille O'Neal on live television saying that, it's shocking. It dumbfounded not only me, the entirety of the Thunder fan base, and I'm sure a lot of other fan bases out there that don't have a horse in this race right now, such as Celtics fans. I wouldn't say Bucks fans because Giannis wasn't ever really out, but he wasn't a finalist. A few other people, Warriors fans, a bunch of those fan bases, I'm sure they could agree that Shai should have won it as well. But now, kind of speaking on that, I'm also going to talk about proving why Shai should have won it, but I'm also going to prove here, talking about that last tweet that I saw there, using it as motivation to win the championship, these are also stats to prove why Oklahoma City has a good chance to go ahead and win it all and make the, regardless, I think they'll make the finals. I don't know if they win it all because it's going to be tough to beat the Boston Celtics, but they do have a good shot when you look at the team and being led by who should have been MVP in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He should have been the MVP. All right? When you look at the stats, it's that simple. First stats I have here. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander this season for the Oklahoma City Thunder. 30.1 points per game, 5.5 rebounds, 6.2 assists per game. Career high, by the way. 2 steals per game, career high. Also, want to take a moment to recognize the only 2 players in NBA history to average over 30 points per game and then 2 steals a game. Michael Jordan and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Just let that sink in for a bit. Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player of all time. Shai's on that level with him with this season. Anyways, 53.5% field goal percentage. Another career high. First in 30 points games with 51. Led NBA in total steals, 150. 57-25 record, first in West. MVP snubbed. Absolutely. 100%. When you look at those stats, 100% he was snubbed. Career highs across the board for almost every single stat besides points and rebounds. Snubbed. Had a season on par with Michael Jordan. Had a season also on par with Steph Curry, who was unanimous MVP when he had that season that SGA was having right now. Keep that in mind, by the way. Steph Curry has the same exact season that SGA has, and he was unanimous MVP. But Shai has that season, and he gets 15 first-place votes. 15. We'll move on to the next thing I saw here. All right? This is the voting. This is the motivation that comes in for Shai. Look at this. 40 second-place votes. 40 third-place votes. 3 fourth-place votes, and someone had the audacity to vote him 5th. Are you kidding me? 5th? You didn't even think he was a top 3 player this year? Looking at the stats, what he did for the Thunder? Are you kidding me? Nikola Jokic with 79 first place votes. 79. That's absurd. Luka with 4. He should have had around 20 first place votes in my opinion. 50 third place votes. 36 second, 8 fourth place votes, him being considered 4th. We know the top 3 players this year were Jokic, Shai, and Luka. They should have never gotten votes for 4th or 5th place. That's what is driving me insane with this voting as well, that people had the audacity to put 2 of the top 3 players in the league right now, in the world, 4th and 5th in MVP voting. That's absurd to me. That's what blows my mind with all this. That's what really gets me ticked off. Seeing that kind of voting take place. People not being educated on what these players brought to their team. I'm just going to go and say it. They didn't recognize what Shai brought to the team. He made all his players around him better, along with Luka. You can say the same thing about Jokic, but it helps when you have an all-star player on your team like that. When you already have a team that won it all, by the way. They haven't gotten rid of anyone. They're the same team. They've won it all with that team that he has right now. So it's kind of expected for him to do that, right? Shai, this wasn't expected what he did with the Thunder. It wasn't expected. Luka, almost the same thing when they didn't even make the playoffs last year. That's my hot little take on that. We'll go to the last thing here. All right. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, NBA total ranks in 2023-2024 season. Points, 2nd in the league. Steals, 1st. Deflections, 2nd. Contested threes, 5th. Estimated plus minus, 1st. Estimated wins, 1st. 30-point games, 1st. Blocks by guard, 5th. True shooting percentage by guard. He's 2nd there. Fewest turnovers by a top 10 scorer. Led the youngest team in NBA history to clinch the number 1 seed. OKC record with SGA, 55-20. 30.1 points. You saw those stats. It was an incredible season by him. I agree with you, Brandon, there. That was an incredible season. Absolute snub. He should have won the MVP award. He should have. No one else was putting up numbers like him besides Michael Jordan. That's insane to think about it. You're on par with Michael Jordan, but yet you're not the MVP. That makes 0 sense to me. 0 absolute sense that he doesn't win MVP, even though it's the same numbers Michael Jordan was putting up, and people are calling him the greatest of all time when he did that. It makes no sense. I don't understand, and I need someone to tell me why Jokic won it over Shai. Because I've looked at it, the stats are better, all right? Sure, same record, but we beat them in the head-to-heads. So clearly, in the head-to-head matchups, Shai outplayed Jokic. So there's that. I just need some other substantial information to show me why Jokic should have won it over Shai like he did to actually prove me that wrong. All right? Just someone please prove me wrong why Jokic deserved it, because I am utterly dumbfounded. But that's all I got for this video. Shai's going to go out and win Finals MVP, Western Conference Finals MVP. We're going to win the championship. After this happened, I'm going to be honest. If I'm annoyed, I'm sure the whole team's annoyed. I'm sure Shai's annoyed. I'm sure the entire city of Oklahoma City's annoyed. I'm sure the entire state of Oklahoma's annoyed. All right, the world might be annoyed. The world might be annoyed at this. That's all I got for today's video. I'll catch you in the next one.